Something happened in the Gulf 3 weeks ago that most people missed. The world locked onto oil prices and tanker traffic. But underneath that story, a quieter crisis was unfolding. The gas most people associate with party balloons just vanished from the market. It represented roughly a third of global supply. Then it was gone overnight. Iran struck Qatar's Ras Laffan facility early in March. Qatar shut down production and declared force majeure. That legal term means a company can no longer fulfill its contracts due to circumstances beyond its control. Spot prices for helium doubled within days. Damage from subsequent strikes will take years to repair. Here is what makes this different from any oil shock. Industries depending on helium don't have months of inventory. They have about 45 days. Not because of bad planning, because helium physically escapes its containers after that. Pressure builds and the gas vents into the atmosphere. You can't recapture it. Chip fabrication plants, hospital imaging suites, and rocket programs are all running the same clock. They're staring at the same calendar. Nobody wants to say what happens on day 46. Helium is fundamentally unlike oil. You can't drill for it directly. No factory can synthesize it. An efficient recycling at scale simply doesn't exist. Helium forms underground through radioactive decay. Uranium and thorium break down inside rock over millions of years. This process releases helium atoms that drift upward and get trapped inside natural gas deposits. That's the only place on Earth where concentrations run high enough to extract commercially. When natural gas burns without capturing helium first, those atoms rise through the atmosphere. They drift into space forever. This is why global supply is concentrated in a handful of places. Qatar's North Field is one of the richest known deposits on Earth. Russia holds another significant share. The American Hugoton Field in Texas once led the world in production. Helium keeps MRI magnets cold enough to function. Without it, those machines simply stop working. It purges rocket fuel lines before launch. Helium creates the ultra-pure atmosphere that chip manufacturing requires. And it's the only coolant capable of approaching absolute zero. That matters enormously for quantum computing. A hospital can function without oil. It cannot function without helium. America once had a solution to exactly this problem. It built that solution over decades. Then Congress voted to dismantle it. The Federal Helium Reserve was established in 1925. America's military created it after recognizing helium as a strategic material. Airships needed helium instead of flammable hydrogen. Rockets needed it too. Then the Cold War needed it badly. The reserve eventually held roughly 1 billion cubic meters. It was the only major strategic helium stockpile in the world. Then Congress looked at the balance sheet. The reserve carried a debt near $1.4 billion. Political appetite for cutting government programs was strong. One congressman argued that blimps had nothing to do with national security. He wasn't wrong about blimps, but semiconductors weren't a geopolitical asset in anyone's thinking yet. Congress passed the law in 1996. The sale price was tied to inflation, not market rates. Helium demand from chip manufacturing was rising fast. The government sold a strategic resource below market value for years. Private companies couldn't compete and stopped investing in new extraction. The safety net came down and nothing replaced it. The industry is calling this helium shortage 5.0. 4 major shortages came before this one, all driven by the same structural fragility. Each time resolved just enough to delay the real fix. New sources are coming online. Tanzania has promising deposits under exploration. Canada's helium industry is expanding. But scaling new extraction takes years. The 45-day clock doesn't wait. Qatar was actually in oversupply going into this crisis. That cushion delayed the reckoning slightly. Now that cushion is gone. The world's largest single helium facility says recovery will take years. Every chip fab, every MRI suite, and every rocket program depends on a supply chain with no meaningful buffer. That structural problem existed long before this war began. It will still exist when the war ends. The Iran conflict didn't create a fragile helium system. It just made a 30-year problem visible. We built a strategic petroleum reserve because we understood that oil could be used as a weapon. Helium is harder to replace, harder to store, and impossible to synthesize. What would it take for the world to treat helium with the same urgency? Will the world fix this before shortage 6? For more economics, business, and finance, minus the boring parts, check out our other videos.